guys just finished the first day of Apple training with the new iPads. You'll have these, all your freshmen will have these next year, so come the first day of school, they will all walk in with this on the first day. So what are some of the things that you're taking away from today that you'll know that you'll use next year with your students?
I think for me, a lot of my fears went away after this training, like how the students are going to use them and if they're going to use them appropriately. And I think after learning about some of the apps that are available and ways that we can block certain things, I think my fears went away and I got a lot more excited.
Good.
For next year.
Yeah, that's a little
Knowing
worried.
that they'll be on task.
Yeah.
That was a big thing. As far as when they're sitting at their iPad, are they actually the app or taking the test, or are they searching for answers? But the fact that we can block them out using Google or using iPad class,
Yeah.
it'll be a lot more structured.
I got really excited about the video that goes into the numbers app because I felt like since one of our first units is like scientific design, being able to have them explain what they did. So like here's what we, like here's the numbers we collected, but here's actually how we went about doing it. I thought that was really valuable sort of across the board, no matter whether it's biology or any of the sciences we teach. I thought that gave them a tool they didn't have before.
Right, because I think a lot of times they have a hard time writing it down on paper, but explaining it, they can explain it to you, so now they're able.
The nice thing is they'll also be able to collaborate that information with their classroom, with their classmates, because this is going to be the norm now. They're all going to have the same type of email format, and they'll be able to send it to their classmate. They can edit it.
Well, it's nice getting them used to being able to make a presentation. I mean, when they leave high school, they should be able to make a spreadsheet, put it together, express what they want to say, rather than, you know, so it's actually preparing them for later on.
Yes, it is.
Like I thought I was pretty good and savvy with iProducts. I feel like I'm not as savvy as I thought I was. So, and I thought it was nice how he showed like how one app kind of embeds it. You know, it's all the same tools and there's sort of a universally to
Automatic
it,
saving.
that kind of thing. And just,
How many times have kids like saved incorrectly to their age track? No, it's automatic.
And also, if they don't have internet, you can send them the article without the internet, and then they can bring the iPad home and access that.
Right.
and I felt like
No
as a
excuses.
teacher, like I went into podcasts. Like here's something I've never ever used in my classroom because I never really had a good way to look at a lot of information at once. And here I found ones for forensics, I found ones for biology, just even science talks to start like things that are in the news like right now, like why is the whole Apple thing, you know, with them not, with the FBI not breaking the code, why is that a big deal? I feel like they see it and they hear it, but maybe they don't know. So I thought that was a really good resource too.
So how do you think this can help us with our transition to NGSS, to the new science standards?
I think there's a few science and engineering practices that really will link up to this, like argumentation. We've been working a lot with the freshmen, generating arguments and defending claims, and there's just so many interactive ways to do that now, instead of paper pencil. So.
Well, and I think like the global view of science. I mean, now we really have the ability at a moment's notice to go, what's going on in the science world like today, and what does that have to do with what I'm doing right now, like in this lesson, right?
It's just incorporating the technology. I know, like in physics, I'm so excited to be able to have them videotape things dropping and timing it so that they can see the acceleration rate at different times.
Slow motion.
Slow motion.
Time
taking it
lapse.
up. So I'm real excited. I mean, I'm real excited about it for that.
I'm kind of excited with the argumentation. We've been doing it on whiteboards or posters, and it seems when they're doing it on posters, it's a little more permanent, and they don't really want to edit. Here, if they do it on here, they're going to be able to edit it and go back and revise, and I think it's just going to create more of a fluid opportunity for them to express their thoughts.
And to be creative in like an easy way. You know what I mean? Like, whereas I feel like you can color and you can play with things in a way that maybe they're just better at doing than maybe I was. Like, I like markers, but I can see why this is fun to play with and change the colors and the size.
Like just the emojis. I mean, kids live with emojis.
Yes.
And to put them into some kind of, you know, PowerPoint or something to that effect where the kids can have them moving and animated, and that gives them a sense of creativity that
Yeah.
they wouldn't have had on a flat sheet of paper.
Mhm.
And airdrop's great. It's amazing. So I mean, even just to talk to each other about stuff and share things, like, hey, my class did
Yes.
this,
Yes.
and now I can share it with you for your next period, so you can show it to them. That's a pretty amazing tool too.
I'm excited about airdrop as
Yeah.
well. Which you guys have already figured out.
Yeah.
Just one more way for you guys to decline something that I've sent you.
And know that we did.
And no. So then what would you say to parents who might be skeptical about, you know, the cost to taxpayers for purchasing these for the kids? Because it is a lot of money.
I think these are tools that students are more likely to use. I mean, I'll be perfectly honest, I haven't cracked open a biology textbook in a very long time. Because of the simple fact that it's a little antiquated for kids. They still don't know where the table of contents is, it turns out. So I just think it's a really easy way to make them more responsible for their own learning. I mean, there's no excuses anymore. You've got it all. We're giving you every tool possible to get you where you need to be. So I think it's a good thing. It's really going to be good.
And you know, from a parent who's had 3 kids go through high school already, it would have been amazing to have my kids have these, because, you know, I know they were really good at the computer. You know, they all got the computer down. But I know they didn't bring their textbooks to class every day. I know they didn't bring their you know, I can't tell you how many times I have a kid in my own class say, I don't have a pencil. Well, you know what? Now they have no excuse. They can open notes and they can just put it in their notes. I mean, there's things that they can do now that eliminates that whole I don't have.
I left it at home.
I left it at home.
It's
You know.
saved all right here now, so.
Now they got to bring the actual iPads to school, though, it turns
Yeah.
out.
And watching these kids carrying 30 pounds of books on their back, you know, this is just so nice and compact and put together that they, you know.
This is like the whole world right here. You know, and I think it's amazing how I can go, well, I don't know the question, or I don't know the answer to that question, but here's a website with somebody's email, so send them an email. And it's amazing that that person a lot of times gets right back to you with an answer. And it's all just there if you're willing to, like, use it. And, you know, I think it's exciting because I think we're all really wanting to use it.
I think it'll be easier also if you have that kind of advanced kid that finishes their stuff, assigning them some enrichment activities,
Right.
just like that. Hey, go check this out really quick, instead of, you know, having to have a worksheet all the time.
Well, you know, I had a student in my physics class who came up to me, we were talking about magnetism and we were talking about motors and building a motor, and he came and goes, look what I found on Twitter. And it was actually the motor we were going to make. He said, you know, it just like was weird that all of a sudden we're talking about it and here it is. So it'd be kind of cool to say, hey, guys, look at this, look what he found, and then they can look it up right then and there. It doesn't take them, I have to get my phone out and I have to get this. They have it available at their fingertips. So when we find something quickly, they can look it up fast.